Hey, welcome back, everyone. It is time for another red-hot cover call video. Well, hey, look, I'm back behind the mic fired up because today we're going to talk about a couple things. So go grab your coffee, sit back, and be prepared to be motivated and inspired. Now, today we're not going to focus so much on the chit-chat. We're going to get right to the trades that we're going to talk about because if you remember last week, I had all of my Rocket shares taken away. And of course, that was a huge hit to the portfolio. But here's the deal. We're going to go ahead and move on from that. We were given cash. We're going to use that cash. I'm going to show you today what I did with that, and we're knocking it down already. I'm also going to show you my numbers. I want to show you where I'm at in the generating cash flow in my monthly retirement experiment. I am not in retirement. This year, December 13th, I retire. I'm going to need all of the skills you see me using here on YouTube to generate real income in retirement. Okay? The bills have to be paid. I have to be prepared and focused that we have to put money on the table. Okay? If I'm going to use my portfolio to generate income in retirement, I have to stay focused and stay the course. I cannot quit. I cannot stop the stock market, right? It goes bad. I cannot coil up in a fetal position. You cannot either, okay? If you're turning off the stock market, well, what are you going to do? You're going to work a 9 to 5 the rest of your life? Or are you going to retire and then have to take on a big box store meet and greet job just to make the ends meet? For the most part, a lot of you will have a portfolio where you can actually use the stock market to generate your monthly income. Now, for me, I've proven that I can do this, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Place 4 or 5 trades a month, pocket around $3,000 to $4,000 a month. I'll tell you what, I can live the good life if that's what I'm generating with my selling premium portfolio. Now, look, you have to get your education, you have to get your experience, and you have to do it. Okay, that's the key here. I have done literally thousands of trades. So I've seen it all. That's why you come back and watch me, because I'm real deal. I'm putting real money on the table. But more importantly, I'm giving you that mindset. See, we get hit in our portfolio during times like this. I've been doing this now on YouTube for 6 years, and I've seen major events that cause the stock market to fall like it has, some 20+%. But guess what? Every single month we put money on the table. While other folks are out there not putting a nickel on their table because they stopped watching, we're still putting money on the table because the bills don't stop. What, do you want your iPhone taken away? Of course not. Stay in the game. Stay focused. Today, I'm going to show you some trades, how I'm doing that. I want to remind everybody, I have free spreadsheets. All the spreadsheets you see me using here, keeping track of every single one of my numbers, my P&L. You can go to my website, cptdashboard.com, and click free spreadsheets. They're all there for free. I don't spam you, no ads. What I want you to do is download the total income tracker. That's the money one right there. That's the one where you plug in your trade. Then when the trade is over, you plug in the numbers and you drop it down. And when you drop it down, everything tracks your current year. In that tracker are many calculators that calculate how much money I can make and the cash on cash percentage gain. I am constantly in that tracker, always making sure my trades are right and making me money. And while you're there, download your copy of the Poor Man's Cover Call Tracker. What we're going to do going forward is try to mix in a lot of poor man cover call trades, largely because stocks have fallen such that what we can do for literally the price of 100 shares, we can use leap call options and generate the same near-term covered call income as somebody that owned 100 shares. Now, my poor man cover call portfolio has been kicked into ribs because I used PayPal and Square absolutely at the wrong time. So right now I'm really trying to manage those trades. And to be honest with you, I haven't been able to get off any trades because the stock is trading lower than my leaps call option. I should have done some things. I didn't. When you're spinning 15 to 17 trades per month, sometimes those little details can get away from me. And yeah, that is how much I trade. There was a certain point this year where I had 13 trades working. Right now I don't have that many, but hey, we rotate them in and out as the opportunities arise. Okay, so I want you to go ahead and get your spreadsheets. They're all free. I don't charge you, and there's no ads and no spam. Now, hey, look, before we get to the good stuff here, if you've never been to my channel and you like what you're hearing, I want you to subscribe to the channel. It's right there and it's free. And hey, look, if you like this video today, bang that like button. It lets me know you like what I'm doing. Now what we're doing is this. We're talking about the Rocket Mortgage assignment last week. Had my shares taken away. I was given the cash, took a hella hit in the portfolio. Do we sweat it? Of course not. We take that money and we put it back to work. So what was I going to do with that money? Can't touch Rocket Mortgage for the next 31 days. Don't want a wash sale. If you don't know what a wash sale is, Google it. You have to make sure if you take a loss and you're going to use that for tax harvesting for the current year, you can't touch it. Okay, that's very important. So what we did is this. I am thinking we're sort of at a point, just like at the bottom of the pandemic, where the markets have found their bottom. They're starting to move a little bit higher. They might move higher, but we're more of a sideways to higher trade, and we're not going to jump off the charts. So right now is the time to use the indexes to my advantage, because I don't have to have the individual risk of like a Square that announces earnings and gets beaten down by Wall Street's expectations. I can use the indexes like the QQQ for the NASDAQ, the SPY for the S&P. And what we can do now is use the indexes to ride the wave higher. However long that takes, we're using the indexes because the indexes are diversified. Right? The S&P 500 has 500 stocks, and one stock is not going to collapse the entire deal. Well, for me, I like a little bit of juice, a little bit of leverage. So I'm going to use the NASDAQ here. Largely because the NASDAQ, if this market is going to go higher, all those beaten down, wonderful, profitable tech stocks are going to get bought up. And if you haven't noticed, Apple hit as low as 137. That thing's trading over 160. These things are highly, highly profitable these days. These are not dot-com boom and bust companies. When you look at an Amazon, a Google, Apple, they have billions of dollars of revenue and billions of dollars of profit. Okay, so Wall Street's going to go back to those mainstays, and those mainstays will move the market higher. Hell, I think the Dow is weighted tremendously heavy on just like 3 tech stocks. So when they move, the markets move. And that's sort of where we're at right now. With Apple slowly going back over 160, I'll tell you, it's more of a sideways to higher trade than a continual hit the sell button trade. So I'm going to use the NASDAQ to rally here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy 400 shares of the TQs. TQQQ, it's the 3x leveraged ETF to the NASDAQ. If the NASDAQ moves 1 point, the TQs moves 3. It's a 3x leveraged. And I don't mind using them. I've been using them for years, making thousands of dollars because my mindset is not about leverage. Everybody wants to say leverage, oh my God, running for the doors. I just look at it as if we're using support lines and we think we're going to get that sideways to higher trade, it moves sideways to higher 3 times. And if I play this right, that is going to be hella jack on the table. Now, when this whole sell-off started, I started getting involved in the TQs around 70. So do understand, when they fall, they do fall 3x. But again, I'm playing the indexes and the TQs are not going away. So we're going to wait and we're going to do what we do. Why I mention that? I have 400 shares of the TQs right now, I believe with a cost basis of 56. So right now with the TQs trading around 35, we got some work to do. Well, I've decided to double down. And what we're going to do here is we're going to use the 400 shares differently. Okay? I still have to wait for that first 100 shares to get near the 56 strike price. But this new set of shares we can use right now, generating income right now. So understand, I have 800 total shares of the TQs. We're using 400 now, put money on the table. The other 400 still on the bench. Little risky right now because if the market starts to move higher, which I think we will in the second half of 2022, I'll tell you, even in this inflationary time, even in this, we're going to have a recession or we're in a recession, people are spending money. And that means they're going to spend money during the Christmas peak buying season. That's what they do these days, and that's what's going to happen. Now remember, I'm not thinking long term here. I'm thinking 30 days and maybe 5 months out. But here's the deal. Now's the time for me to get involved with the TQs because I think we start to move a little bit higher. So what I did was this. When the TQs was trading at about 33.15, went ahead and bought some shares. Now the TQs gets above 33.15. In fact, it gets into the 34s. Now I tried to get off a cover call the same day, but I did not get the premium I wanted. So I had to wait for the next day and maybe even the third day when we had a green day. Now the TQs is trading right where I wanted to. So I'm able to write the 35 strike. Now the stock is trading for 34.85. I'm going to sell the 35 strike. This is what I sent to the members. I said, look, this is what I want to do. I want to make this $800 crumb. Remember, when I owned Rocket shares, that was the goal. I wanted to make $800 on my investment in Rocket. I can make $800 a month using this exact TQs trade as the stock market trades sideways to higher. I have no expectations outside of this 30 days. Okay, you understand? 30 days. Now, the TQs has weekly options as well. That's important because I'm also using UDOW and UPRO. They only have monthly options. With the TQs, it gives me much more flexibility. I can get in and out of trades. I can roll up and out, maybe just 1 week. And I want to keep this ball rolling. I sent this to the member saying, look, we're going to do this. We're going to buy the shares and we're going to write the next strike covered call. And I'm not worried about the stock move because what I want to make is the fat premiums that come with such a tight strike price to where the stock's currently trading. Take a look at the chart I sent to the member. This is what's currently happening right now. If you haven't noticed, we have actually gotten a nice little bounce. And in fact, we have broken through a near-term resistance. I'm going to tell you now, if the market stays sideways to higher right now, that line right there is going to become support. So right now, I'm catching this as we start to move higher. And yeah, it might be sideways for a little bit, but for us selling premium players, that's what we want. We could buy a stock at 30, write the 32 covered call, get a couple bucks, and as the stock trades sideways to higher, we could either have our shares taken away, we collect max profit, or the stock doesn't fall tremendously where we feel like we can't sell premium against it. I hope you're keeping your eyes on the ball because this market has slowly started to turn, and that's what I think people aren't watching. Okay, they're watching all these other little spinning plates from the news and the clickbait and the political and this, but look at what the market has done. Guarantee if we go out on the street and ask 10 people where the stock market's at right now, they'd absolutely tell you it's crashed. They don't look at it. But we, selling premium active traders, see that we're moving higher. I want you to take note of that. And this is what I always let my members know. We got to be half cup full, okay? We still have to trade. We have to put cash on the table, even in a market that's sold off. Let's go to the charts real quick. I want to show you what I was thinking. So here's the TQs. The TQs mirrors the NASDAQ 100. So again, it's essentially the NASDAQ, but it moves 3x. Notice what is happening here. Since it is bellied right here, look at how it bounces off this support as if it were clockwork. And now we're at this point where it's going to test resistance, but the bigger resistance is right here. If we can hold this line right there, now we're talking a decent trade, a trade that might go higher. That's the key line right there. Don't worry about this one. Worry about this one. Now notice how it's peeled off. It's peeled off here. Very similar to what it's done here. Now I'm not sure if it peels back to here, but if we did, I want you to focus on that line. If you were interested in doing any trades focused around the NASDAQ, this is where a cash secure put might be very interesting. Because if this truly is support, and look, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and this could potentially be five lines where it bounces off that support, a cash secure put at the money right there would be beautiful. And that's what I'm thinking about letting my members know if that happened. We're not there yet, but this current trade, why did I pick the 35 strike? Because if the stock stays above 35, that could be the new support line. It breaks through resistance, and now this line is support. Okay, so now it gets above it, and now it's going to tap that line as it goes higher. Okay, well, that guarantees me max profit. Right, I paid $33.15 for the shares. I wrote the covered call when the stock was trading at $34.85. I picked the 35 strike, so I'm pocketing a decent amount of money on this trade. And that's what I want to do, pick up crumbs along the way. Let me show you the details of that trade. Of course, being a member, you see all my real-time trades and what I'm thinking when I complete the trade, okay? So notice here, just like I talked about in the chart, this thing is moving higher. Look at all those green days, okay? There's no more panic selling. We're getting green now. So I have to keep that in mind because now I want to write these little out-of-the-money strikes Or maybe all of my strikes are now out of the money. Because as we go higher, we get a little stock appreciation. We get 2 streams of income. Now, with that said, here is the trade. You could see I got a $2 premium for this. And I let the members know exactly what I'm telling you right here. And that $2 premium on 500 shares, that's $800. But remember, I get a little bit of stock appreciation too because I started this trade at $33.15. That's going to be fabulous if I have my shares taken away. Now, if my shares are taken away, this becomes a very profitable trade. In 30 days, 6%. Now, the reason it's 6% is because it is the 3X leveraged ETF. So if you don't want to play in that sandbox, I totally understand. But if you did, make sure you're using the indexes. That's how I do it. I am not going to use the hundreds of different 3X leveraged indexes to whatever, okay? We're going to stick to the big 3, UDOW, UPRO, TQs. Also use TNA because that's the small cap Russell, which I have shares. But you know, it's one of those things where we need to continue to have a positive mindset, right? Even though my shares are going to be taken away. What do I care? See, a lot of people get hung up on that, having your shares taken away. It's as if it's a bad thing. You know how John sees it? It's max profit. How many times can you say in your trading life that you made max profit? Not many. And we get the cash right away and we do it again. Okay, that's what it's all about. If you're in retirement and you need to put cash on the table, this is your part-time job. This is your part-time job. You're able to have the flexibility to work at home from a laptop, small portfolio. You can literally be traveling the world. I travel the world and I absolutely trade. I remember it's in the middle of the night in Denmark and I'm trading the stock market. Oh my God. Love that flexibility. Really is the trader's lifestyle. Whether I win, lose, or draw doesn't matter. I have the flexibility of working when I want. Now, we have to be successful. That's why I always show you my trades so you can learn something up your game. Let's talk about money. I'm going to show you my July results right now. Now, if you like what I sent to members there, you actually missed 5 or 6 other emails I sent since then. What I want you to do is consider joining me. Okay, this is what my members get all the time. And even if I don't write one of those great emails talking about the markets or maybe a possible trade, in fact, I sent the members out a Gilead cash secure put trade idea yesterday. I actually might do that one myself. Oh, and let's remember, members' question asked me about the poor man's cover call on Granger, gave my entire breakdown on using Granger as a poor man's covered call trade. That's what you get with me. I'm engaged. I always want to try to up your game. Go over to ctpdashboard.com, click Upgraded Dashboard. I give you 1 free month. We'd love to welcome you aboard. Now we're back inside of my total income tracker. The reason I'm showing you is because I offer these free spreadsheets on my website. People ask me all the time in email and chats and comments, hey, how do I get your spreadsheet and how much do you charge? I charge 0, zip, nada, and there's no ads and there's no spam. Okay? I want to make sure you're tracking all of your numbers so you're keeping your record straight. Okay? That's very important. Now, look at that TQ's trade right there. You see it. And by the way, these are all of my current trades. Now, that is not all of my current stocks that are on the bench. My gosh, if I showed you that, your jaw might drop. But look at what we did with the TQ's trade. Apparently, I bought it at $33.46. I used that 35 strike. I was able to get $2. And look at that. It's not even a 30-day trade. That's going to put money in my pocket for the month of August. That's what we're trying to do here. Generate monthly income in the current month, but we also have to prepare for the next month. So you see some September expire dates because I'm preparing for the next month. Have you ever had a contractor over your house and they're fixing something? And while they're fixing something, they're on the phone for their next job. They're always looking for their next job. That's what we do with selling premium. We're looking for the next paycheck. At least that's what I do. So I have my current trades happening now. It's August 6th. As we go through the month, I'm going to be pushing into September. We keep the income coming in. All right. That's the important thing here. The mindset is we don't stop. Okay. We don't stop and we definitely don't turn off the stock market. I actually hope a lot of you that have turned off the stock market really sit down and think about how you're going to generate income. And if you are content with working the 9 to 5 or working part-time for somebody else, hey, more power to you. But I think a lot of you are thinking, look, I may not have my health. I love the flexibility and freedom to work from home. So it's very important to keep that mindset. This part of this entire channel is to help you with a mindset of positivity, half cup full. So I need to feel like I'm talking to somebody out there. And I've gotten somebody off the bench and now they have financial freedom. And I'll tell you what, a lot of you have told me that and inspires me to keep this going. So let me show you my July numbers just so you could see where I'm at in a month that I didn't actually trade that much. This would be a great time to bang that like button to let me know you like what I'm doing. Now what we're doing is this. July 2022, we pocket $3,164. Now look, everybody out there knows I lost a hella chunk of cash with Rocket. But this is how John thinks. Now whether you agree with me or not, that's $3,164 I put on the table. I slid over and paid the bills. Every single bill on my table was paid last month. And they have been paid every single month this year. My goal is $2,500 for every month. Now, I did take a hella hit. That just means I have less to work with. Less to work with to keep putting money on the table. So with $3,164, I'm able to continue to pay the bills in a stock market that hasn't fully recovered yet. And here's the deal. Over the past 6 months, since February, when this collapse happened, right? The stock market fell some 22%. Okay, so let's get this straight. There was a little bit of a collapse there, all right? We have been generating that kind of income. Everything you see here is a selling premium portfolio that I've chiseled away from my main buy and hold portfolio. So what you're seeing here is exactly what you might do. You'll have your buy and hold portfolio for stock appreciation. You'll have your dividend income portfolio, which actually might be the same as your buy and hold portfolio. Now you have your selling premium portfolio, and that portfolio drives cash flow to your table. You'll use your dividends to pay some bills, but the selling premium portfolio is meant to pay your bills. This is the mindset. This is the overall mindset that gets it done. Okay? Join me at my membership. I'm telling you what, for the rest of 2022, this is what we're going to do. And I got to get that $3,100 up to double. Well, look, what's the takeaway from this video? Well, the takeaway is this. I got kicked in the ribs on a trade that went bad for me. But what I did is I took that money and I turned it right around and took a negative and made a positive. And with the TQs, I use less money. I actually have about half of what I got from Rocket still sitting on the bench. If that TQs trades continues to be good, I could actually double down on that and make potentially $1,600 a month. And you know I will. If you've been watching me, you know I have no fear. What I want you to take away in this video is half cup full. We stay the course. We keep doing it. You're always looking for ideas to up your game. Hey, look, I got one free month for you. Join me. See what we're doing over at the membership. I absolutely believe you'll love it. Hey, look, be safe, be healthy. Most important, be lucky. Until next time, may all your covered calls be profitable.